Welcome to podcast episode 5 of The Mavericks. This is your host, Ryan Mascarenas, and today we'll be talking about why you're in the marketing game when you start a business. This is my third take and hopefully my final one. So there are 7 points I want to cover in regards to why I believe that you're in the marketing business. The first will cover why most businesses fail. The second is the dependence of most businesses on organic growth. Third, the importance of predictable sales. Fourth, investor confidence. Fifth, lead generation. Sixth, messaging. And seventh, iterative development or iterative perfection in terms of your sales process. So let's go through these points. Number 1, why do most businesses fail? Because they start off with a product and a hazy definition of the market, and they define their whole business by these two variables or these two factors. And then what happens is, as they get into business, they get a more clear understanding of their market might change. But because their business was based on a different market or a different version of their market, they got to throw the business out. Or they learn more about the business and all of a sudden they realize there's another product they should get into, or that their existing product and service is not going to be feasible. Because their business was defined on the product, if the product has to go, the business has to go. So you never want to define your business on a product or a hazy definition of the market. You want a very crystal clear purpose and a crystal clear person that you are trying to help when you get into business. So that's the number one reason why most businesses fail. They don't do this. Number 2, most businesses, when they start off their business with that product and that hazy definition of the market, just hope that everyone's going to come and visit them. This is called organic growth. It's based on the reputation of the business, it's based on referrals, it's based on word of mouth marketing. The problem is these are very hard to measure, and these are very hard to use to predict sales. And so if you depend on this and you don't have any other method to generate sales, when the season goes down, you're out. So this is the problem with depending on organic growth. You have to depend on active growth, your own version of growth. And this is why I'm saying that you're in the marketing business. Number 3, the importance of predictable sales. It is an incredibly peaceful feeling to know how many sales you're going to generate next month. Even if you know that you're going to go cash flow negative next month, knowing that gives you a sense of peace because you can work on that. You can figure out something about that. But just knowing that you can have this many sales by next month and this many sales by the month after, and these are your costs, and your costs are not increasing, and you can see down the pipe an increasing profit, that is an incredibly rewarding, incredibly confident building experience. And so the importance of predictable sales, I can't understate it. I can't overstate it. Predictable sales, when you are able to do this for your business, you are a very successful entrepreneur, because you can basically predict the future when 99% of the people cannot. Alright, so that's the importance of predictable sales. And this comes down to the idea of a sales process. You have a process in place, or you will develop a process, where by doing one action or a series of actions, you're able to generate so many sales. When you have a system like that, you are basically one of the most valuable people to banks and investors. So this goes to my 4th point, investor confidence. Whenever you do a pitch to investors or bankers or any financier type of person in order to get money, one of the first things they do is, after they get an understanding of your business, they flip to the cash flow statements and they try to see, where do your sales number come from? And they ask you, where do your sales numbers come from? Like, on what basis do you say that it's going to increase by 10% or whatever? And this is where most people hiccup. It's where I hiccup, because if I can't predict, if I can't understand the basis of where I'm getting my sales numbers, that's it. The investor loses confidence in my ability to run the business. But if I can say, listen, my sales process right now generates about 1,000 leads a month, and for every 10 leads I get 1 sale, and it's been like this for 6 months, then you can say that for every 1,000 leads I get 100 sales. Right? And then when you show that in your cash flow statement, and they see the basis of that number, it's almost like they're sitting on an opportunity. They're not even an opportunity. They're sitting on a golden goose right now. They are talking to someone who has a system that can generate profit at will. You are their golden goose. You are not a risk now for them to put money into you. So that's the importance of predictable sales in the sales process. It gives investors confidence. Number 5, lead generation. So what is the start of the sales process? The start of the sales process is the ability to get people who are out in the general public to express an interest in your business. So when those people express an interest in your business, that's called a lead. After that, when you get when you're able to determine what it is you have to do to get leads, you can always work on the next thing I'll talk about to convert them to buyers. But the key here is that this is why you're in the marketing business. Marketing is about your ability to get your business out there to the right people in the public to express an interest in your business. They may not be ready to buy right now, but they do have an interest in buying from you at some time in the future. And as long as you're top of mind when it comes time for them to make the purchase, they will come to you. But this will all depend on if you have a flow of leads coming into your business, a flow of interest coming into your business, right? This is the most important part of business. If you cannot generate leads, you're always dependent on the people themselves spreading your business. You're always dependent on, basically, like for example, if you're a restaurant, you're dependent on the food talking for you. And this does work, right? This is that whole idea of quality spreading itself out to, because quality is very hard to get. But at the same time, you can't measure quality. You can't measure quality, but you can't measure return on quality. You don't know how many sales are coming back because of a certain type of food, unless you ask the client. But if you could just get a constant flow of leads expressing interest in your business is more likely to succeed in the future because you can convert more of those leads into sales. And while you're working on your products and product quality is really good, then more of those leads are going to convert to sales because your product is that good. So I'm not saying quality is not good, and I'm not saying that's not your focus. It's one of your primary focuses, but your other primary focus is marketing. Now, number 6, we talked about lead generation, bringing leads in. Now we need to convert them into buyers. And this is the whole idea of copywriting, messaging, and closing. Most people don't know how to sell. I didn't know how to sell. I actually sometimes think I still don't know how to sell. But the key to successful business is the ability to sell. So you're able to generate leads. Now, how many of those leads can you convert into sales? That all depends on how you write your copy, write your messaging, or convey your message, video, audio, writing, whatever it is, to the buyer or to the lead to show them that you are the person that will help them solve the problem that they're currently facing, right? This is a very difficult process because it's very nuanced. It's based on a bit on psychology and human motivation, also timing and market trends. This is where most people get caught up, or most people trip up. There are so many dynamics to sales, and the whole idea of being a salesperson it got such a bad reputation, unjustly though I believe, that most people don't want to get into the sales business, right? But that's what all businesses have to do. They have to sell. So there is a method though to sell without being in person if that's not your forte. I mean, if you can sell in person, then you probably don't need to watch this video. But if you can't sell in person, there are other methods. There's content marketing strategies where you put out podcasts every day or every week. You put out emails. You put out newsletters that people will find value in, and then they can trust you. And when they trust you and you pitch a product, they'll be more confident to buy from you. That's also like a closing process. So there are different methods to sales that don't require face-to-face. They could be digital, they could be video, could be audio, any method. There's many methods to sales. The key is, have you thought about the fact that you're in the sales business? That you're in the marketing business and this includes sales? Really think about it, focus on it. You must be very comfortable with the idea that you have to sell your product actively, right? That's the only way to actually create a sales process that you can predict. And number 7 is the point on iteration and don't give up. So iterative perfection, I think that's the best way I can describe it. When you develop your sales process, 99% of the time it's going to fail. Probably that's the reason most people don't get into sales. They're afraid of the failure rate. But that doesn't matter. 99% of your attempts will fail, but 1% won't. And then when you take that 1% and you expand on it, 99% of those 1% attempts will fail. But then you'll have another variation that will work, right? So what will happen is you're basically iterating your sales process. You start off with step 1, how do I get someone's attention? These methods are failing, but this one's working. Okay, let me just expand on this and get them to the second step. When I get them to the second step, which of these steps work? Which of these versions work? Okay, 99% of these don't work, but one does. Okay, so I got this. Step 1, I've got the one that works. Step 2, I've got the one that works. Then you go to step 3, and step 4, and step 5 until the person closes. So for example, in email marketing, what is the messaging I have to put out to get someone to sign up to my newsletter, right? So what ad works? So 99% of these ads don't work, this ad works. Okay, let me just expand on this ad. This ad leads to this landing page where I can get someone's email. These landing pages don't work, but this landing page does work. All right, this landing page, so I'm going to expand on this landing page. Now I'm going to send them an email sequence. This email sequence leads to more sales. These email sequences do not. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on this email sequence. Now look at this. Through iteration, right, test by test, step by step, you just figured out which ad, which landing page, which email sequence leads to more sales. And that leads to investor confidence. That leads to your own confidence too, because you're able to predict sales now. You could just up your ads in this one system, and you know that for every 1,000 ads, you get 100 leads. For every 100 leads, you get 10 sales. Now you know that if you do 10,000, if you do 1,000, if you get 1,000 leads or 1,000 ads, you'll get 10 sales. If you do 10,000 ads, you'll get 100 sales. And you see how this scales? This is sales predictability. This is like the greatest achievement in business, to be able to predict sales. So you are in the marketing game. You're in hospitality, you're in quality, I get that. But you're also in the marketing game. Don't be afraid to sell. So this is Ryan from the Mavericks. We have a newsletter that if you're interested in this kind of topic, we have a newsletter on mavericks.goldwynandsons.com. Again, that's mavericks.goldwynandsons.com. You can go there, you can sign up to our newsletter, and I will send you a free PDF on the 7 elements, there's 7 or 8 elements needed for business success. And then from there, you'll get an email sequence that will introduce you to some of the books and the ideas that have helped me succeed in business and create a cash flowing business in COVID. So I hope you enjoy that. This is, again, Ryan from the Mavericks. I'll see you in podcast episode 6. Thank you.